the gentle lady from New York, Ms. Malliotakis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary, for being here today. This administration talks a lot about setting what I would call innovation-killing price controls. But one of the things I do want to talk to you about where I think we could really work together on access and affordability of prescription drugs would be PBMs. Okay? Obviously, our pharmacy benefit managers, which it's troubling to me that the three largest PBMs actually control 80% of the market. There's no transparency. They are making a lot of money by keeping rebates instead of passing them on to consumers. They exclude drugs from their formulary, and they are dictating what their competitors are making, right? And they are crushing my small mom and pop pharmacies. Here you have PBMs that are also the insurer, and then they're the pharmacy, and they're controlling everything in terms of pricing, okay? For example, right, CVS Caremark, they also own the insurance company Aetna, and then they own the pharmacies, CVS's, all over the country. Now, do you think that is a problem?
Congresswoman, PBMs have, no one knows everything they do. We're surprised sometimes when we see what comes out, and there absolutely has to be more transparency in the way they do business.
Well, the FTC recently announced their plans to probe the largest 6 PBMs in the U.S., and with the role that PBMs play in Medicare drug pricing, can you explain why HHS has not launched its own investigations, is not pushing for more transparency in order to shed some light into this very opaque process?
Congresswoman, let me assure you, we are working in this space. You may not have seen a particular rule come forward, but we are absolutely working in this space. And if you're interested, we would love to work with you because this is an area where reform is needed.
You say you're working in the space. How so?
Some of the work that we're doing is in the process of, we're trying to get some rules ready that would deal with some of this. At the same time, we're trying to avoid some of the lawsuits that are being filed. And what we're trying to do is continue to give consumers access to some of these prescription drugs at the best cost we can get them for them. And it is difficult, but we are trying to do what we can, working within the constraints we have within the laws, because we can only go as far as the authorities you've given us.
Well, I think the administration has, I think, a unique position to be going after the PBMs, actually. And you mentioned rules. You said, did I see a rule? And then you said, well, we have some rules coming out. So, I think that needs to be clarified there that maybe you haven't done anything just yet. But I'm just trying to understand why HHS seems to be sitting on the sidelines and giving PBMs free rein, considering the role that they're playing, particularly in Medicare prices, but also just pharmaceutical drugs for all our constituents who are paying just way too much right now. And it is because of the games that they're playing and the lack of transparency.
Yeah, I can guarantee you we are not sitting on the sidelines. As we talked about insulin, it's $35 a month. Well,
that's a price control. That's not going after the PBMs.
But we're affecting the price of drugs. We're making them more affordable, and that's what counts. And ultimately, the work, whether on PBMs or in making sure we can negotiate prices for drugs, it's to make sure consumers, Americans, get better prices for their medication.
We've run out of time. Thank you.